So today I want to talk about a topic that I'm actually super passionate about, and that's fasting. So there's various types of fasting. I'm only going to focus on two quickly. The first being intermittent fasting, and that's actually how I live my life. It's basically restricting the amount of time that we eat. So, we have a 24-hour cycle. So instead of eating for 10 or 12 or 14 hours in the day, like most people do, they get up at 6, they have a brekkie 6:30, and then they'll eat at 7, 8 at night, or even have a snack at 10 at night. So what intermittent fasting is, it reduces that time frame in which you eat. So you have like a 16-8. In other words, so for 16 hours you don't eat food, and for 8 hours you do. So maybe you have your first meal at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then you'll have your final meal or final food intake at 6 p.m. So that's not the focus of what we're going to discuss today. What I want to talk about today is water fasting. So this is something I love and I've done, and I do it every month. So you can do a one-day water fast. So you eat your final meal on a Sunday at 6, 7 o'clock in the evening, and you only eat again on the Tuesday morning. That's a fantastic way to kickstart certain processes in the body, which I'll cover just now. And then you can do a 3-day, a 5-day, and a 7-day. I've actually done, the longest I've done is a 15-day water fast. Now, people think, are you absolutely mad? Are you crazy? How can you go so long without food? Well, I just want to let you know that the longest medically recorded fast was by a guy called Angus Barberry in the late 60s. So he weighed 207 kilograms, and he'd had enough. He was obese. He walked into hospital and he said to them, listen, I want to get to 82 kilograms. I'm going to stop eating. Can you help me? And so the doctors had never heard of it before. No one had done any research around that kind of length of fasting, so they prescribed him some multivitamins. Now, all he consumed in that time, according to him, and you can do a search on Google, you'll find his articles there and the information on it. He consumed water, coffee, and tea, and then obviously the multivitamins. That's all he had for 382 days. He lost 125 kilograms. He hit his 82, and he's basically maintained that since then. His whole life changed and turned around. All right, so let's have a look at some of the benefits of doing a water fast. So weight loss, obviously there's weight loss, because you're not putting any energy in. The body needs to find that energy somewhere. You go into ketosis, it starts chewing up body fat, right? So you start losing body fat. Another key thing is human growth hormone. Stimulates human growth hormone, which helps us stay younger longer. And there's two other areas that I specifically like to do water fasting for. And the one is a thing called, in America they call it autophagy, but it's like autophagy. And so I'm not sure which is the correct way to say. In South Africa we probably say autophagy. In America they call it autophagy. And what that is that's the process of the body going and cleaning up dead cells and then recycling them. Now, just to give you an analogy of what that means, imagine you buy a bunch of apples, you stick them in a fruit basket, and you leave them on the counter, and you go about your life and blah, blah. You carry on, and every now and then you take an apple and you eat it. Now, what eventually happens is the bottom apple starts to rot, and then it starts affecting all the apples around, and that's exactly what happens with dead and dying cells in the body. Now, autophagy only kicks in when there's no activity in the intestinal tract. So you've got to be in a fasting mode for autophagy to kick in. Now, the longer you fast, the more autophagy goes in and cleans out dead cells. It's also known as the anti-aging tool. So if you want to find out more information about this, please look up Dr. Eric Berg. He's actually got a video on a 5-day water fast. And each day, it breaks it down step by step of each day of what you will go through and what you'll experience and what's actually happening in the body. Now, one of the key things about autophagy, what it actually does is it actually goes and cleans up the brain. And your certain neurotransmitters start firing better, which gives you access to better thinking. And that's why I do it. I do it because it's helping me live longer, it's helping me feel healthier and better, and also because it gives me that mental clarity that sometimes we just need. Well, guys, hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you in the next video, and take care, my friends.